Can ESC stay undefeated in Season 2, or Karnage going to be the first team to put a stop to them this season? In the lower right hand corner, representing Karnage eSports, is going to be, from Denmark, the Pink Zerg player Forminator. And in the lower left hand corner, we have the Teal Pros player representing ESC Gaming. It is Grave. Alright guys, so how is everyone doing in the chat? Let me hear who you guys are supporting out there today. Are you guys supporting ESC? Are you guys cheering for Karnage? Let me know. If you guys get on Twitter as well, at SC2_improve, hashtag SC2ITL. Let us know who you're supporting as well. Let's see them cheers coming in. We'll shout you guys out as a good luck, have fun comes out for Forminator. His first overlord going in the wrong direction here to begin with. Heading up north, where his opponent is actually over to the west. Interesting pylon placement behind the mineral line, looking as though he might just hide his gateway there. If he does go for a gateway, it looks as though he might go for an Nexus first, and then he could go for an in-base forge. But let's see what he wants to do here. Can't really tell just from the pylon, but there's a couple of different things he can do. Another chrono boost here would maybe suggest he's going to make another probe. Well, he's on 150 minerals now, and he does make another probe. Alright, well, either this is now a very late gateway, or it's saving up for Nexus first, and it is going to be a Nexus first that Grave is saving up for here. And so our next real question is, does he go for a gateway in his main base, or does he try and psych his opponent out and go for that forge? And just go for essentially a forge, fast expand. Now Forminator is not going to be able to spot anything here for quite some time. His overlord, second overlord, is now just heading to the left hand side of the map. It's just less than halfway over there right now. His first overlord is going to get to the this base here. But again, he's not going to be able to see that his opponent's not here for just a little while, as that Nexus comes down for Grave. You know something as well about putting this pylon behind here? Imagine this overlord does come in at the front. Well, okay, I guess that's a bit of a stupid comment. I was about to say, if the overlord comes in here, he won't see the pylon at the high ground. But, I mean, if you go to Nexus first, he's going to see the Nexus anyway, so that's a bit of a silly comment. Let's ignore that one. Let's ignore what I was thinking about saying there. We do see the forge follow up, so nothing too crazy. I mean, he's going to be able to add his gateway on at the front, and from the timing of this Forminator, it depends when his overlord gets there. He may not be able to tell what this is. He would essentially like to go for free hatches before taking any gas here. That's the ideal way to deal with Forge Fast Expand. It's the preferred way. He is now sending a couple of lings out to start scouting around himself, and he is going to move his drone out to take a third base, so he's going to go for this here, and he's going to, essentially he's just guessing. He doesn't actually know what he's playing against right now. He is completely blind, doesn't even know where his opponent is, so he's flipping a bit of a coin. It's going to pay off for him here. His opponent has Forge Fast Expanded, and this gasless opening will pay dividends for him. He's going to get a nice strong economy, a lot of drones to begin with, and still right now this overlord is still just not spotting him until just now. And this Zergling moves around just the right moment. He sees the cybernetics core timing, and he will be able to tell from that this was probably some kind of forge expand, because he'll know he's a good enough player to realize if that cybernetics core is a bit too late to be a gateway expand, etc, etc. So these couple of lings are still just kind of holding the towers, moving around a little bit here, there, and everywhere. Third base on the way up right now. As well, that's just over halfway done. So again, his economy is going to be starting to boom here in the near future. It's going to be about another minute or just under a minute until we see them gases start to kick in for him. And once he gets those gases down, we're going to be looking for him to just start up his speed at 100, etc. So just very standard things, nothing really that you wouldn't. Nothing too crazy is what I'm basically getting at here. He's not going to do something which makes us go, oh my god! There, the double gas coming down. 530 is a bit of a nice timing for it as well. And again, he's going to be looking to get his speed up here to begin with, most likely. A Stargate coming down for Grave, so it looks as though we're just going to have a nice, slow, standard opening here. Probe heading up to this top right corner. Very interesting. Now, this Overlord did fly straight over that if that probe has been there all the time. But Forminator may not have realised it. It doesn't look as though he has, because he's not sending a ling up there at all. So just scouting around with this single Zergling right now, just checking for any probes on this side of the map. Again, clearing out the closer proxy pylon locations is much more important than clearing out some probe which is in the top side of the map. So seeing no proxies right now, he's probably going to be feeling pretty safe about himself. I mean, he's got this link coming down this way as well, just checking everywhere which is likely to have a proxy pylon in. And again, I mean, if pylon's up here, it's not really that much of a proxy. It's basically like the same distance as warping in from his main, so it's not going to be able to really tell him too much, and it'd be a bit pointless to put a pylon in that kind of location anyway. Spore crawlers are going to come down here. It looks like this Overlord has spotted this first Phoenix, so he knows exactly what's up. He also sees this Forge spinning, so if you didn't know before, now he definitely does know that that Forge is down and upgrades are on the way. And 3 extra gateways coming down here as well, so going up to 4 gates. Not too crazy a number, and there's the robot facility as well. So again, we're just seeing Grave follow this up with a macro play for now, and I am truly expecting him just to go up to a 3rd base here in the fairly near future. Bit of an interesting place to put these gateways. Now, obviously, he's trying to hide them from perhaps that Overlord, which was already over here. But, you know, this is a bit of a tough position if Mutalisks come out on the map. Now, if he takes his 3rd base here, it's maybe not so much of an issue, but this pylon is very open to any kind of Mutalisk harass coming in this side. Right now we see continued harassment on these Overlords here. A couple of Queens are fighting against these Phoenixes, doing a bit of shield damage to them, and well, proxy pylons are starting to come up on this right-hand side. We might see a warping of just a handful of Zealots. And, you know, it could work out quite well for him, because right now Fulminator has no units at all, so only 6 Zerglings on the map. An Infestation Pit coming down, completely skipping basically any techie. Okay, he's got a Rotron, but he's not made any Roaches at all. He's gone straight into double melee upgrades. A couple of Queens here will ward away these Phoenixes. A 3rd Queen was at hand as well. And so, double upgrades is something which isn't seen every day, right, honestly, in PvZ. 8 Zealots are going to come in and attack the 3rd base, and, I mean, these 4 gateways, they were pretty well hidden, and it's a very delayed attack, and he's just going to punish Fulminator for being way too greedy here. No units out on the map, and Fulminator actually in a little bit of trouble because of this. Phoenixes aren't really going to be able to help out too much, I don't think. There's enough Queens here to serve as anti-air. They're going to start picking up anyway, though, but one Phoenix may go down if he's not careful. Transfuse does continue to hold. Drones have been pulled away, and Roaches are now on the way out. The question is, can he hold on to this 3rd base of his? The Queens are doing a good job so far, but I mean, this base just continues to fall in health, and he's on well under half health, and I think there's no way he's going to be able to save this. So 3rd base going down for Fulminator. He's been caught just a little bit, being a little bit too greedy here. And from the double upgrades, he's now going to go into Enduring Locust. So he's going to go into Swarm Host play, which I didn't really think he was actually going for initially, but it might be just a response to having lost his 3rd base. I think initially he was maybe looking to rush up to Hive, and with the Hive maybe go straight into Ultralisks, because that's a very common way to go about having this kind of early 1-1 and what's going to be a very fast 2-2 as well. But going into Locusts, Swarm Hosts, is a way of saying, you've taken down my 3rd base, right now I just need something really, really efficient until I can restabilize. So maybe a bit of a change of plan here. Maybe it was his plan all along, quite exactly, but Zergling Swarm Host is a composition I myself haven't seen too much in the past already. A 3rd and 4th base has been taken out by Fulminator as he re-expands after this attack. Grave has a 3rd base already been established. Pretty safe over here. He's got his photon overcharge ready from the Mothership Core. Got cannon behind a couple of gateways. And he's already got his Colossi on the way as well. So nice attack by Grave here. And Fulminator punished for being a little bit too greedy right now in this game. He retained a lot of his drones, so once these bases do come back up, Fulminator is going to be kind of okay again. The main thing for him is going to be holding on against the initial attacks from Grave. You know, initially here, Grave may fight, and if Grave fights initially, then, well, you know, he's going to do okay, because Fulminator's lost a lot of mining time. He's been long distance mining with a lot of these workers. They've not been mining efficiently. Now, once they start mining again, if Fulminator has enough time, he's essentially going to be on 4 base economy fairly unhindered. So these Swarm Hosts are really just buying time for him to really get his economy back up and running once again. And Grave is moving out. He's looking to take advantage of the fact that, hey, I have had an advantage. You haven't been mining properly, and I mean, this is the perfect kind of time. It's just as these bases come back out, just as the mining starts to kick back in, he attacks, and he's going to punish this double expansion. This 4th base is going to go down, and not much gain from that at all. The first wave of Locusts coming forward, but not really going to achieve anything at all here. They might grab a sentry with the Broodlings helping. Not even that, and these Protoss units get away, and Grave doesn't overcommit at all. Moves away just nicely. A single drone is going to spot some pylons as it heads up here. And need to clean them out, otherwise it's going to be a very quick death to this base. If Grave was paying attention, he spotted them units. Queen's a little bit out of position here on the edge of the creep. He does now see this Protoss army coming forward, but the Phoenixes are just going to lift, and this means these Queens are going to go down. Swarm hosts are reburrowing, but there's not that great a number of Swarm hosts. There's only 7 on the map, and 22 more Zerglings are on the way. 20 Zerglings isn't going to do much against Colossi, even with 1-1 and even with 2-2 about to finish. Grave moving down south, looking potentially to pick off another base here if it was re-established, but it has not been. And hoping the Zealots over here actually run past this base, which is a little bit of a mistake by Grave, just not paying as much attention as he maybe should be. So these Zealots will get cleaned up. Stalkers warped in though, they're going to start damaging this hatchery as well, as Grave continues to just reinforce his army. He's actually building a Warp Prism into the main base now, so looking to create an opportunity for himself to move forward. Loses a sentry or maybe even 2 now to these Locusts, so a little bit of a mistake there, a bit of a too far of a move forward, but now a lot of Zealots heading into the main base, and he's just going to start trying to pull his opponent apart here and try and find a way for himself to push in with his main army. As Zerglin spots the 4th base of Grave right now, as this infestation pit is getting taken down. It's being transfused. He's trying to keep it alive. He's keeping it alive, but just not for long enough. And these Zealots will now go down, but the damage is already done. Infestation pit picked off, and that's no more Swarm hosts for a little while here, which again just opens another window for Grave to take advantage of. Throughout this game, he's just again and again and again saying, right, I'm going to make myself an opportunity, wait for it to kick in, and then take full advantage of this opportunity. And right now, the Swarm hosts can't be produced anymore, and that's a little bit less for him to worry about. He is actually opting not to attack right now, but to fall back. And I don't feel this is too bad of an idea, but he's basically forcing Formulator to... You can see, I mean, he doesn't want to build anything right now. So he's on 2.5k, 2k simply because he doesn't actually want to build anything. These Swarm hosts continue to send units forward, some Spore Crawlers coming in, and... well, this reminds me a bit of our game yesterday, which we saw where basically we saw a pretty sick ZVP to start things off between Vega Squadron and Gravity, which was a Swarm host game, and it was a very action-packed Swarm host game, which is exactly what this is looking to be so far. Grave, playing fantastically. I mean, he's just attacking everywhere and always moving around the map with his units, always looking for them opportunities. And it looks as though he's going to try and position to take out this base to the upper side, and denying this mass gas mining would be pretty nice for him if he's able to do that, as a hidden base to the top right is going to come up for him as well. These Locusts aren't, the Swarm hosts aren't close enough to the 4th base for the Locusts to really be that effective at all. And this base up here, well, it looks as though Formulator has a good idea that it's under attack, but I mean, his Locusts, they're just not going to be quite in time to defend this, and Grave should be able to get this without much of a problem. He's actually got force fields as well, and he will just force field those Locusts out. Oh, he misses a little bit of a gap there, and loses a couple of Stalkers in the process of this. So not a completely free pickoff, but still a worthwhile pickoff at the all said and done. So Formulator is still trying to battle back from behind. His hive has just finished, and I wonder what he's going to do with this. I mean, this Warp Prism is actually still in the main base, harassed with a couple of DTs, a couple of Zealots, and now we see Voiders being added on for Grave as well from this Stargate. So he's got Templars out as well with Storm on the way. So he's really just allowed himself to build up this absolutely amazing army, and I mean, it's an amazing army. Like, he's got Storm, he's got Templars, he's got Colossus. It's the army composition he wants to start pushing through or pushing back Locust waves. And again, he's got this Warp Prism out. He's creating opportunities to keep doing damage. You know, it's all well and good fighting off wave after wave of Swarm host Locusts, but it's no good if you don't actually achieve anything while doing it, because otherwise you're just trading against free units. So what he is doing is he's establishing new bases. He's picking off bases, as we saw over here. He's now going to look down here to pick off this base as well, and he is moving into position here. And this wave of Swarm host Locusts, I don't think it's going to last. It's going to run out. They're going to run out of life in just a moment. Now the Swarm hosts do burrow just in time. Is it going to be enough though? There is Storm available, and Storm plus the Colossi will tear through this wave very, very quickly. But he's not going to go for it here, and he doesn't feel like pushing too far forward. A counterattack though with these Zerglings. Formulator, a great move. This is definitely what he needs to maybe pull Grave back a little bit and finally get something going for himself. He's going to take down a pylon, which is power in a majority of these cannons. He's going to get the other pylon too. And this is a pretty nice run by forces Graves' attention elsewhere. And it looks as though the harassment... Oh my god, he's got the hive! Oh wow! Wow. Well, he got some Vipers out, but I mean, the hive now dead. And that was a great pick-off by Grave, which we just caught the latter end of. And Fulminator is going to struggle to spend his money. I mean, he's getting pathogen glands. I suppose he's still got infestation pit, but he can't build anything until he gets the lair up. And Tempests are now actually on the way. Once his lair comes up, he's going to need a Spire to start counteracting these Tempests, because he needs some kind of anti-air, unless he relies... You know, he can't rely completely on static defense. He needs some Corruptors. And he also just needs to spend some drones on Spore Crawlers right now. More Zealots looking to harass here. They're going to run into a wave of Lings and Roaches. So not going to be able to achieve too much as Swarm Hosts continue to press forward here. Graves Army, where is it? It's up on the high ground. So, I mean, the 4th base is not very well protected. He might lose his gas here, but that would be about it. He's just going to go for cannons. I mean, he doesn't actually get anything in the end. He just moved commands as Locusts and wasted life on them. Another wave of Locusts coming forward here, but I mean, again, Graves in a good spot. He's got Tempest out, he's got the best composition he could really ask for. He's even getting his Mothership Core about to finish here. And Fulminator, he's stuck, not able to really spend money. He finally picks off this Warp Prism with a nice little Abduct at the end. He's starting to build up some static defense, he's starting to build up these Spore Crawlers, but he needs way more of them, especially if he's going to look to abduct Tempests into the Spore Crawler lines. And this base up here still just mining gas for Grave, and this is the critical resource from this base. You know, he can always basically rely on this base up here for minerals. You know, he's always going to get these bases up later in the game, but if he can get the gas out of here for now, that's fantastic. A DT getting taken down from up here, and Lings and Roaches are going to deal with this base. But I mean, already, I mean, I guess this base has been up quite some time. I didn't actually realize he'd mine so little from it. So he actually only gets 200 gas from this, so I guess this wasn't really a worthwhile cost, but look at this, a few Swarm Hosts are being picked up in the middle of the map here, and Grave is going to push while them Lings and Roaches are up to the top right hand side. And the Mothership Core here, is it going to get what's going to happen? A couple of feedbacks. There's the Abduct on the Mothership, another Abduct as well, going to pull it in range of the Spore Crawlers, but it's just going to move away. There's not enough Spore Crawlers, and what I was talking about, there's not enough static defense, there's no Corruptors to help out either. Double Spires on the way, but Fulminator just can't build anything right now. You know, forward, and now realize that maybe wasn't what he wanted to do. They're still not burrowing. 11 Corruptors are now on the way. But again, I mean, huge damage just being done already here. We have Lings and Roaches moving through the middle of the map, and again, this may force Grave to turn back around. But at the same time, if I was Grave, I might just be thinking to myself, I don't need to turn around. He's actually going to recall, and I think that might be his one of the better choices here, because this also deflects this wave of units, and it gets him out of that Swarm Host wave he was in the middle of. Establishing a base to the top side here now as well. And, well, I mean, Fulminator trying to get some energy back on his Vipers. A single Oracle getting picked off by some of these Spore Crawlers. And Fulminator just needs to spend his money. He's getting some Infestors out here once again now. 40 drones to 60 probes. And again, I mean, Fulminator has a bank. He can max out once again here, but he really needs things to start going in his favour. And again, I feel he needs more drones so that he can spend more money on static defense. I think he needs some more Spore Crawlers. I mean, this number of Spore Crawlers isn't really enough. I mean, at least now he does have some Corruptors, which does help him out quite a bit. A DT holding this tower here, or sharing it with a few Locusts until they die. Oh no, the feedbacks are going to be huge. They're going to get 1, 2, maybe even 3 of the Vipers, just 2 of them. But they were pretty huge feedbacks considering, I guess a Hive must be back up now. Yes, it is, so you can remake them. But again, it's costly, and he's just wearing down this bank for free. Great move by Grave. And Fulminator just, again, not a single thing seems to be going his way in this game. Again, launching an attack with these Lings, with these Roaches. But this might be the end of these now. So they start to get taken down. He's remaking some of his drones. This base is going to get very well established up here. A lot of minerals being spent on cannon defense. And Fulminator is still just trying to run around with these units, trying to get away with them. And it looks as though he will be able to get away with a few of them for now. Back at home, he's still just maxing up his army. He's still just sitting back. He is now max. He still has a gas bank, but again, his mineral bank is not that great. He has not been on that great of a drone count throughout the game after losing so many of them. He's actually had 43 killed by Grave, and that's where this initial 70 number has gone. So, you know, he's struggling with minerals because he hasn't had them drones, and that's going to hurt him. And again, it comes back to he can't afford as much static defense as he would probably like. So he's doing a good job, I feel, always counterattacking with these Lings, always doing a good job. And with 3-3, these Lings are actually pretty deadly, especially considering the Zealots only have +1 armor. So these little Ling counterattacks, you know, it wastes minerals for minerals. But I mean, he doesn't really want to waste his own minerals, I feel. I feel he really needs to just build more tech units, you know. Something like some more Infestors, some more Vipers, maybe even some more Corruptors could pay off so much for him right now. yet he just doesn't make anything. He spends his minerals on circles. I don't really understand his reasoning. I mean, yes, I understand he wants to try counterattack, but it's so easily dealt with the cannons there, with a few zealots. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's not ideal for Grave. But still, I mean, it's not like it's free for Fulminator to do. If he had a huge bank of minerals, then yes, it would be great. But that's not the situation we're in. If Fungal Grove comes down on a little bit of this army, a wave of locusts just gets eaten alive. And Fulminator continuing to move forward here. This Revelation doing a really nice job of just revealing here for Grave. He sees the whole of this army. And he sees exactly where his position, so he knows where he can move. He knows where he can get away. And that really allows him to be in a nice little position here. Moving forward with a Templar. It looks as though he feedbacks maybe a Viper there. One of them is on very low HP. Recall is out of there, and an Oracle. A couple of Oracles need to get away. Casts a Revelation, uses the energy just before it gets eaten alive. Zerglin's still running around trying to do whatever they can here and there. And Fulminator still has a huge gas bank. He just needs to establish more mineral mining bases. He actually still has this base down here, which he hasn't really been able to mine from throughout this game because of the way Grave has been denying it. Grave is now moving out once again here, moving through the middle of the map. So almost going to move back down to the south, and he's going to be able to clear up a little bit of the creep here, which is always going to be nice, pushing the creep back of the Zerg player. These Spore Cores doing a good job fighting the couple of Voiders which came too far forward back as well. Locust coming forward here from the side. Tempest just picking off that vision from the Oracles does help them see, and that's always really nice as well. And these, because of that vision, it's very hard for Fulminator to move forward and get in range without an abduct, without the Templars just landing the feedbacks, and that's his main problem right now. Another wave of Locusts is going to start moving towards this army, but these Templars are just slowly picking off the Spore Cores, picking off the static defense. More Vipers, more Corruptors on the way, and Fulminator just cannot seem to do anything here. Another Viper gets picked off. Nice target fighting from the Tempests. And Grave continues to push on forward just slowly with these Tempests, and he's going to pick off a Queen. He's probably going to continue to pick off Spore Cores. Bit of an overkill on that single creep tumor there, as more and more Spore Cores continue to go down. Another wave of Locusts now coming out and heading forwards. Picks off an Infestor. The Fungal Growth, probably not worthwhile, honestly, to lose an Infestor for. I mean, them shields will recover. 6 more Vipers are now on the way, as a big harassment, big attack of Zealots comes into this, I guess, the 5th base. This base has also been cleaned out as well, probably from some Zealots. Sorry we missed that. And nice hold position on this Spinecrawler, actually, with the drones, does help this Spinecrawler to stay alive. Vipers come out here and they're going to try and get down here to help out. A duct on the Oracle is pretty nice. It denies it before a Revelation comes down, but more Spore Cores continue to die here, and again Grave is just slowly picking away at his opponent. 5th base is mining. You know, 4th base is starting to get mined out. He's probably going to make a new base up here right now. Could even double expand if he would like to. And in the end up here there wasn't enough to hold on, and Fulminator just GG's. He cannot break through Grave's army, and he knows that. And that's going to be it from him. GG's out, and Fulminator loses game number 1 against Grave. Karnage start out 1 game behind there. And, well, a great game though. Grave, I just think, played that beautifully. I mean, I was talking about it through the game, but he gave himself positions where he could do damage, did the damage, fell back, and then looked for a new way in, a new way to abuse something that maybe Fulminator hadn't thought of. And again, it all started with that picking off of that 3rd base. That put Fulminator behind initially, and Grave just built on it from there. He built up his army composition. He built up what he was going to do, where he was going to attack next, and a well played game from Grave. Fulminator falls, and ESC have a 1-0 lead here in SC2ITL Season 2. ESC vs Karnage. It is a best of 7 all kill, so Karnage are going to pick the next player right now to play against Grave. We're going to be going into that match very soon here, guys. We're going to go to a quick commercial break so I can go get a drink while we get this next game set up. So don't go too far. This next game is coming in just a few moments' time. In the meantime, do check out SC2Improve.net, where you can find out all the information that you would need about the SC2Improve Team League. And we've just put a new article up there today, so do go check that out. We'll be back here in just about 2 or 3 minutes with some more games. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? We are going to get set into game number 2 right now. It's going to be a PvP between Grave and Insane on Overgrowth. The map, which is basically the new split map. It's the map where pretty much every game goes really long because it's quite hard to kill your opponent on it. So, oh, excuse me, I thought Insane was a Terran. And he is going to be... So it's not a PvP, it's a PvT. Yeah, I mean, PvT can still kind of go split map. It's very hard to actually push into a Protoss. Actually quite surprised to see him pick Overgrowth here. I really think it's a really nice Protoss map. Now, one thing that is really great for Terrans on this map is the capability of dropping. And we're going to talk about that just a moment once we get into the game. Basically, though, it's just, you know, the main base is very droppable. There isn't much space to hide your medevacts, but the locations of the mineral lines are quite spread out, and it's quite a long walk distance between the third, the natural, and then the natural and the main for the Protoss player. So it does become quite hard to defend these drops. And I'll show you exactly what I mean just now. So we'll introduce our players at the moment. So again, I mean, you can kind of come in here. You've got a little bit of space to save your medevacs, and you know you can drop in a few different locations in the main base. But between the main and the natural, it's already a pretty decent distance to walk. You know, you're probably gonna, if you're gonna be dropping here, you've got to go from kind of here to here, which is quite far. But then the main thing is the third base. You got to kind of come out and around, and then all the way over here to get an attack coming in here. So you really can force your opponent to spread out a lot with your drops, and that may very well be what Insane will look to do here in this game. He is the purple Terran player representing Karnage eSports in the lower left-hand corner, while in the upper right we have the teal Protoss player representing ESC Gaming. It is Grave, taking that first game against Forminator. Again, just a very nicely played game. I'm actually kind of a little bit in love with the way he played that out. It was just great from start to finish. He was just in control of the game, and he just had an answer for everything Forminator kind of wanted to do. It seemed like Forminator... I still don't understand why Forminator didn't spend his money. He had so much money to just spend, and he just didn't. He just let it build up. He was like, well, I could make units to help me defend. You know, that is something I could do, but he did. But you know, maybe again he could have been saving it. There was a couple of times he was definitely saving it because he was waiting for his lair to be built, he was waiting for an infestation pit to be built. But a couple of times he was making these zerglings and he needed the minerals instead, and I don't know. I think maybe he just thought he needed to do something a bit more to get back in the game than just max out. I'm sure he had his reasons. Let's talk about this game now, though. This is going to be a Reaper opening out of Insane. Just 12 racks, 12 barracks, 12 racks, 12 gas even. And Graves going to come in here, spots this straight away, and you won't be too surprised by this at all. I mean, Reaper openings, very, very common in TVP. You know, I think if it wasn't a Reaper opening, it might actually be a little bit more surprising. Insane's going to get up to 50 gas here, and he's actually now just got one work. He actually pulls out of gas completely, so after his reactor, he's just going to expand very, very quickly and go into barracks number 2 and 3 as well. Says he's scouting around himself. And what does he see? Well, you see it's just a 2 gas, 2 on each expand. And this probe comes down to low ground. Zealot's going to complete here so that he can 100% make sure this Nexus doesn't get blocked. And this probe going to run away. Probe builds away as well. And there's, ooh, nice actually. That Reaper going to get that first probe, and now he's going to be able to actually chase that Zealot if he wants to as well. Not paying quite enough attention to it maybe just now, but now he does move into this main base, and we'll look for a bit of a way to do something here. Doesn't want to overcommit though, doesn't want to take too much damage on his Reaper against a Stalker or a Mothership Core, and just backs off again, back at home. He's actually got this probe, which has been a little bit annoying. That may be what this Reaper's coming back to deal with. 3 barracks on the way and an expansion. Pretty much expected. This Reaper continuing to chase down this probe. Is he going to get it? Well, I think he is. He's heading in the right direction. This probe... Okay, yes, it's going to go down. So probe caught. And this is one less thing on the map that Insane has to worry about right now. That probe. He's just checking in case it did make a pylon, but it didn't. And so he'll be nice and safe. Nothing being proxied against him right now. And he won't be too worried about too much either. I mean, he's seen this Nexus come down. We actually see a Robo follow-up for Grave in the main base as well, so there's really nothing to worry about for Insane. And he will try and scout here in a moment. You can see the Stalker and the Mothership Core positioning to try and deny a scout, a Zealot as well. Kind of going to help. The Reaper will try and get in here, and we're probably going to see a scan in about a minute or so if this Reaper doesn't spot what it wants to spot. Why can't I follow? There we go. So Reaper's actually going to get in, walk straight past the Mothership Core, and he's going to see not just the Robo Facility, but also the Twilight Council that was thrown down just afterwards. So the Reaper doing its job here, gets past, and ooh, that probe trying to build a gateway there to block the Reaper in, but wasn't quite successful. And the Reaper, now he gets it. Nice little Sim City there by Grave, and traps that in, and ooh, he's going to go for the Dark Shrine, interesting. Probably with a Warp Prism, maybe an Observer followed by a Warp Prism here. Wow, he has to go all the way around to build the Dark Shrine there now. So DTs, and I mean, this is something Insane has to think is possibly going to come at him. It's it's not really the best of map to play Blinks on, best of maps to play Blink on. So, Insane, I really think he's probably going to just be thinking, well, DTs are a definite possibility. I need to prepare for that. So he should prepare for that. The question is, will it be substantial enough? We see trying to Chrono Boost out of Warp Prism now, but Grave is supply blocked, so this is a bit painful for him. I mean, this is actually going to delay his Warp Prism by quite some time, and considering he's teching right now and he can't warp in, there's a big attack coming his way. He does have a Photon Overcharge. His Mothership Core is in position, but their Stalkers are going to get caught as well. His Stalkers just being completely zoned out from his base. This is not good right now. A Photon Overcharge has to be used here. And Insane just going to back off immediately, though. And again, these Stalkers, they're zoned out right now. He could go and try and hunt these down. That's exactly what he's going to try and do. Grave realizes, though, he pulls that Stalker back pretty quickly. This Stalker going to take a bit of damage here. Oh, it's just going to get away just in time into the range of Photon Overcharge. This one is still trying to loop around, though. Insane continuing to rally units at the front. There's still not much here for Grave, and again, he's really going to be reliant on this Warp Prism, but that's so late coming out because of that supply block. He's not going to make his opponent turn around maybe as quickly as he would like, and as Photon Overcharge falls out here, Stim's going to be finished, and there's going to be a big attack into this natural. This Nexus could go down. Realistically, there's nothing to stop this going down. There's a 90 energy on the Mothership Core. How long is left? No time left on the Photon Overcharger. Oh, but Insane, he doesn't move forward. He doesn't know that there's nothing here. Now he just moved forward just a little bit. Is he going to stim? Is he going to commit? I think he might. He's in. He's in. He's in the natural. He's going to go for it. He's going for the Mothership Core. Okay, he's just going to go for the Nexus, surely. There's nothing here. He has to just go for the Nexus. So he's going to go into the main. He's going to go into the main. The Warp Prism is still moving down the bottom side of the map here for Grave. And, I mean, this Robo Facility is going to get killed off straight away. A couple of Stalkers are, I mean, basically all he's got to rely on. A few Zealots warping in as well. 3 DTs, sorry, that's DTs warping in, and this is definitely something which could turn this around if Insane doesn't have a scan. Right now, there's going to be DTs going to be dropping in his main base too, and the turret's only just starting to build here. Quite a lot of this army has been killed off, and I can't help but feel maybe targeting him down that Nexus initially would have been the better choice. Now he's taking a lot of damage in his own mineral lines, losing a lot of his workers. Does scan, but there's only one Marauder to clean this up. SCVs are fighting as well. This over here, these units are trying to just stim around and pick off as many probes as he can, but he's taking so much damage to his turret in the natural, but that's about it. And Insane, I mean, he's not dead in this game, but he could have done so much more, and he's down 20 workers now. Such a hugely missed opportunity. 18 workers killed, and again, I mean, he picks off the Robo. Now, this is nice for him. You've got to remember, Grave is behind in, well, I guess he's not really behind in upgrades, because Insane doesn't have upgrades either, but he doesn't have any tech. He doesn't have any, oh, but Insane's met Starport's late. Wow. I mean, if Insane had Starport up and Medevac's already coming out, he could just continue to attack right now and just go, you know. Make sure he has a few units at home to defend from the DTs in case they come back, and from the Warp Prism. But in general, he could just go and start dropping, because there's no splash damage out. It'd be very hard to deal with for Grave, but as the Starport's only just beginning now, he really loses his opportunity to go for that. And oh, look at this, just a DT at the front, just going to start slicing away and doing a little bit more damage. There isn't enough scans saved up, and this DT is actually just going to run straight by into the main base even, and I mean, there's a turret up here, but this DT can just sit here and it's going to maybe even pick off a reactor. Picks off some SCVs, which are just building a couple of things here and there. Going to just pick off Marines as well, and these DTs are just being so cost efficient right now. Finally, we see the Medevac starting to come out here, and this is what Insane really does need. Grave has so many minerals saved up, he may even just start a third base because of this. He's starting Immortal. Right now he knows he doesn't really have any fighting units, so he's even getting an Immortal out to buy time. He does have a Photon Overcharge available to him. How different this game could have been if Insane had maybe just targeted down that natural. I mean, yes, Photon Overcharge is going off, but when there's like 20 Marines and a few Marauders there, and 2 Stalkers, a Photon Overcharge isn't going to stop you from killing the Nexus, and I liked what he thought about doing running into the main, and if they weren't DTs, I think he would have done very well, but as it was, things just didn't go his way. And I mean, he's still not out of this. He's only 10 workers behind. He does have double mule. He is starting his third CC as well. You know, he's not behind it. He's actually ahead in upgrades, which is nice for a Terran player. And he's got his first medevacs out here, and there still isn't a Colossus out. He's going to lift up a couple of medevacs worth of units and go straight into the main base here. There's a lot of zealots out there, and they will help quite a lot. An Archon coming in as well, and just about now the Colossus is going to finish too. So Insane not going to be able to do too much more now, and he's going to stay. He's going to fight this, but he just picks up and gets out of there with what he can. He can't really fight. There's just too many zealots. Single DT coming out. He's just going to force another scan. The more scans he forces, the less mules that can be used, and that actually makes Graves' probe lead a lot more significant. So, well, these units are still just moving around. Pro students holding the ramp right now. And Graves is continuing to add on gateways here. He's up on 6 already with 2 more in production. Is he just going to go and try and go for one big push, or is he just taking his time and taking his third base? Okay, he's just taking his time to take his third base. Starts up his +1 attack now. Again, the upgrades are still pretty much in... yeah, they're pretty much even, really, with the Chrono Boost, considering the Chrono Boost. Third base denied a little bit longer here by a single Marine. He will go down, though. Tries to run away. Gets taken off. And now a pylon marks his place of death. It's quite nice, the pros player. Here is the location I killed Mr. Marine number X. Scan coming down, and well, I mean, this Terran army can't really fight right now. How is he going to deal with the Colossi? He's got no Vikings at all, and that's exactly why he's just stimming around. He's just gonna, whoa, he's gonna go all the way around. Is he going to be able to get the third base? Maybe. He's going to get the pylon. He's going to get the third base too. These rocks are going to be targeted, and Insane, he's thinking about what he should do. He's going to go after these zealots, and now he's going to turn around once again. He maybe could have even got into the natural there. He had quite some time before them rocks went down. This army getting a little bit trapped now as Grave is good in for the sandwich, coming in from 2 angles. What is Insane going to do? He's going to just boost away, stim away, but now he's kind of... Okay, he's in his medevacs. He's safe. He's out of there. Big drop into the natural could be decisive right now because Grave is just side his third base. Maybe even to the main base, because this is all walled off. It'd be very hard for Zealots to actually help out at all if a big army was to drop behind here. And Graves still out of position right now as these medevacs, 5 medevacs worth of units come in. These probes are going to just disappear, basically. But Nexus is going to get targeted down as well. Is it going to go down? I think, yes it is. And now Insane is going to be able to pick up and get out of there without many losses, because there isn't that much anti-air. Mine in the back goes off as well. Oh, they're the Stalkers though, and they're going to stop these medevacs from getting as far away as they would have liked. The rest of the army coming around here as well. This army very heavily stimmed right now. This is all going to go down. There's no way he's going to be able to save any of this, I don't think. He's going to, get away with a handful of units. He at least retains his medevacs, which is important. This base still dead. If he could move this mine into position here to block the re-expansion, that would be awesome. His third base is mining, and Insane is starting to take a pretty nice advantage in this game, I feel. He's buying himself a lot of time. Armory only just starting, though. And that will mean his 2-2 upgrades are delayed for quite some time, but Grave is still yet to start his 2-2 upgrades as well. There's a DT. Of course there's a DT. Insane just not quite having the foresight to put a turret up there in time, so that's a little bit annoying, losing a lot of mining time in fact from one DT. These DTs throughout this game have done so much work for Grave. Has got 27 workers throughout, 21 workers for Insane. Most of that will have been from that one big drop in the natural. Oh wow, still a mine just sat here. Only 2 kills on it so far. But if he gets a big chunk of transferring probes, that could be absolutely huge. It doesn't look like Grave realizes it's there. He's got Templar Archives up now. Oh, yes, he does. He does. There's an observer there. And it's cleaned up. Alright, well. That's cleaned up at least. There's a few Vikings in the sky. Do we have Storm on the map? No, we do not. Them Templars are just to make a couple more Archons. This is not the best of compositions from Grave. He doesn't have enough anti-air, I don't think. I don't think he's got enough. I mean, these mines are going to rip through these Zealots, and he's just going to kite away with this army, away from the Colossi. The Zealots take so much damage from these mines as well. These Vikings are slowly working away on the Colossi. Maybe not quite enough, but these Zealots are all melting here. And once these Zealots melt, there's nothing to protect the Colossi at all. And Insane's going to move forward. One Colossi goes down. The second targeted, that goes down as well now. More Zealots are coming in to back this up, and Immortal goes down, and he lifts up. He gets out with... Okay, he doesn't get out with anything, but 2 Colossi dead. That is absolutely huge, and 2 Vikings don't want to really be there. They're going to escape. And, well, Insane, he was quite far ahead in supply, but Grave turns that around very quickly with the latter end of that fight. And this base re-established now. 41 probes to 64 SCVs means the army supplies are pretty even. +2 is actually going to start for his days. He's going to keep up his upgrade lead. As third bases are just basically free base mining is only just now really being established, and it isn't really free base mined because the main base is mined out for both of these players. So Warp Prism's still over here. Warp's in another DT. Going to come towards the natural now. Might just be at a bit of a bad time because there's a few units already here. And they're going to catch it on the way in. And these Marauders are going to... Oh, no! He turns around with the units that were attacking it. And now he starts to walk away. This Warp Prism just sitting hidden just a little bit. A few more kills come down. Didn't see how many exactly. As we see a double drop moving across for Insane. Now, this is spotted by Grave. If he was watching this Zealot here. But he isn't responding to it at all, and this is pretty huge. He can pick off quite a few pounds here. He could maybe even pick off the robot facility if he saw where it was. He's going to position his mines so that he can kind of deflect any incoming zealots, and he is just going to target down these pylons. Colossi coming forward. Don't walk the Colossi into the mine. Okay, he sees it at least. Oh, he takes the explosion anyway. This Nexus is getting targeted down. Wouldn't be too big of a deal. Gonna get out of here with both of these medevacs, but at the same time a big hit force coming into this third base, and the army is so out of position for Grave. It's all in the main, and Insane is gonna probably pick this off. I think there's a few zealots here, but the shields are already halfway gone. The army isn't even past the natural yet. The zealots are coming in to help right now. He's gonna start stepping, but there's too many marauders. This base is gonna fall, and Grave is back down to essentially a one base economy right now, and he's gonna be forced to rebuild this Nexus, which is not what he can afford to do. He's already 50 supply down, and Insane times out. Well, well, well. An unfortunate time to lose connection. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's back.
Game paused.
He's back, but then he lagged again. Hopefully it'll be fixed in a moment. So we just got a quick break here. I mean, let's take this opportunity to take stock of the situation. We've got this double drop still in this main base. So the double drop still in the main base. This natural is basically the only mining expansion right now for Grave. He doesn't have the money to make a third. And he's got quite a big army over here. What's the army of Grave looking like? A couple of Colossi, a couple of Archons, 3 Archons, but 2-2's going to kick in soon for the Terran player too. Insane doesn't think he's won. It's pretty good for him right now though. 50 supply up, 20 of that in army, a lot of that in workers. Of course the worker advantage is always going to be good. Ask these guys if they're ready, and we will resume. And this text chat should disappear in a moment. So he's going to lose a couple of his Vikings here and a few units, but he picks off this third base, and he's now dropping once again into this natural, into this main, and a natural choke point here created by these two buildings is just going to cause these zealots to run into their deaths essentially. And Graves in trouble. He's going to run in. He's just going to try and go for a fight. Mines are going to burrow here. And Insane now splitting. But there's just not enough to tank these Archons. Yes, they're quite tanky, but they're just not enough on their own. And the Colossi are going to get closed in upon. And GG, well played, called very soon afterwards there. Very soon after the lag was resolved. And Insane ties up the series 1-1. How exciting. Insane pulling it back in a TVP. Isn't it awesome to watch Terran players just do so well against Protoss lately? It's great. It's really awesome. Alright, well, Insane, he evens up this series now between Karnage and ESC. We're going to have to wait to see who ESC want to send out next. So while we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, guys. But when we come back, we'll have the next game. I'll let you guys know in the chat as soon as I know who the next players are going to be. Thank you very much to anyone who's hitting that follow button on Twitch today. I'm Virus and Felix Ava. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit that follow button. It's the perfect opportunity to do that right now while we are in the break. Also, make sure to check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/SC2_improve. If you tweet at us at SC2_improve, let us know who you want to see play today. Let us know who you want to see win today, most importantly, ESC or Karnage. Let us know why you're supporting them teams, and we'll be back after a few moments' time here, guys. We'll be back in a few moments' time once we've got our next player and map set up. This is SC2 Team League Season 2, Karnage versus ESC. Hello, guys. Welcome back to SC2 Improved Team League. How are you all doing? We are ready to go. It's going to be Altazim Stronghold now for TVZ. Our next map is going to be map number 3 here. We're currently tied 1-1. I'm just going to be getting to this right now. Altazim Stronghold. TVZ Insane tying up the series after Grave took the first map against Formulator. Let's see if... I don't know how I should say this. I don't know if I should say Ares or Airs. I'm going to go Ares. Ares. Kind of feels like it should be Ares. Get into the game right now. So, it's 1-1. And in the upper left-hand corner, representing ESC, their next player. Ares, the green Zerg player. And in the lower left, the red Terran player. It's Karnage's Insane. Tying up the series for them right now. Let's see if we can do it again here. Take another map for them to let them take the lead again. So important here today for Karnage. If they were able to take this series, it'd be so fantastic. The ability for them to just move up a few places in the group rankings after taking down one of the top teams is what would make that so important. So really important match here as we do get into this on Altazim. In the chat, someone else is asking when is the SC2I 1v1 tournaments taking place again. We are going to have the SC2 Improved Summer League, going to be starting up again in June. The announcement for that is going to be coming in the next few weeks, most likely. And the weekly, of course, probably won't be back until September now because we'll have the SC2I Summer League instead. But also, our lower league team, Clan StarCraft Improve, have been putting on some Bronze to Diamond tournaments. So if you're in Bronze to Diamond, you can definitely check that out. I'm not sure if there's a link for the next one or anything, but if you hang around the SC2I channel, I'm pretty sure the next one will be on Sunday. Starts just after midday Central European time. So do make sure to try and check that out. I'll be putting it up in the events tab when I know more information about it. And last week was the first time they did it, and they got like 30 players, which was pretty crazy. So do make sure to check that out. If you're a Bronze to Diamond player, definitely worthwhile checking out. There's a stream, get some games on the stream, have a good fun. No prizes, just all for fun. But yeah, the main 1v1 SC2I tournaments come back in June with the SC2I Summer League. Third Summer League we've done. Crazy. Barracks coming down here on the main base. After a command center first, no real surprises here on Altazim Stronghold. Largest map in the map pool, and no real surprise either to see Hatch first, of course, on the Zerg play. Now, was this a... Okay, so he went pool, followed by the gas. So he's still getting the gas, just so you can get some map control of his Zerglings. But, he could have... I highly doubt he'll go anything past 100 gas. Probably just 100 for speed. And that's about it, unless he's going to do something really kind of meta-gamey here and maybe try and rush Mutalisks or so. 2-base Muta. See what he does. Right now, though, it's not too weird to take the gas still on Altazim. It's a large map, and having them Zerglings out just to be able to spot. And, of course, always still, just to deflect the Hellions from the third base is always something that some players do like having. So, going to be a bit of a slow start to this game for now, guys. Not going to be too much going on, really, and probably going to just see a third CC coming out of... Insane in the near future. He is not adding on a second gas just yet, but he could do fairly soon, I suppose, once he adds on his factory. So let's keep an eye on that second gas. The second gas will tell us a lot about whether he wants to play a mech style or a bio style. Though here on Altazim, I'd be pretty surprised if he played anything past a mech style, a bio style. The mobility, the ability to drop is just so awesome on this map. Mech can kind of work, but... Okay, so first few Zerglings have made their way across the map, but they're going to just be able to poke up here, and the they're going to see that there's very simply a marine out, a reactor on the way, and a factory coming up. So they're going to know exactly what's coming down. There's that third base for Insane. No second gas, no mech play. Just the third base. And nice and quickly that's going to be coming up. I don't know. Goliath SC saying Ayres is the god of war in Greek mythology. I don't know. It's probably the way that he's got like 2 capital letters and a small letter. It's like makes me feel as though there should be a different way to pronounce it. I don't know. I feel a bit stupid now. I don't know. Maybe he's just one of them guys, likes to pronounce his name differently. Insane clearing out a couple of Zerglings in the front. Actually leaves a Zergling behind at his third, and one's left over at his forward too. So, in fact, Zergling's left all over the place. So, Ayres is keeping up a nice amount of map control as he gets his double evolution chamber down. We see double engineering bay coming down now for Insane. And I was going to say, yeah, it makes sense on this map. You may as well just be as greedy as you can be. I mean, yes, sometimes they will hit you with some kind of maybe kind of bust because you're not expecting it, but it's kind of hard. I mean, they've got to come up this very narrow ramp, so it's still not exactly ideal. So just going for the double engineering bay before extra barracks is pretty nice. This Overlord's not going to be able to spot anything. I mean, he really has no idea what's over here. Could be a third base here, there could be 5 more barracks here for all he knows. He has no idea right now. And first few seconds getting roasted just a little bit here by these Hellions, and a couple more on the way back, losing that map control now. A couple of them getting roasted on the way back as well. There's Hellions number 5 and 6 going to head over there, and another reactor going to come down here. 2 barracks are going to be added on, and we're just going to see a big pump in for Marines right now for probably the majority of this game. Just Marines and medevacs, maybe add in some mines. We'll see actually what kind of composition he wants to go for. We've seen Terrans changing up their composition a lot lately. We'll see if he wants to go for the mines. Maybe he adds in some siege tanks. We don't really know just yet. May just play full on bio. Let's keep our eyes on that. Of course, mine's still the most common, I would say. As just see some queens injecting around the place. And the third base being established for Insane. I mean, you know, he loses a Hellion here, but he's pretty happy. He sees nothing coming across the map. He hasn't seen any roaches. He's got nothing to really worry about. And with these Hellions still out and about, he's got a good map control enough to secure this third base landing nice and early here. Gets his Marines over here, puts them in actually a pretty nice position in case of a Zergling run by. It's pretty smart, you know. If you had your Marines here and 30 Zerglings run in, boom, you've lost a lot. Whereas here, it's going to buy a lot of time for the Hellions to actually just come back, help you out, and may save you a few SCVs in the meantime as well. As these Lings look as though they may want to try and pounce forwards on these Hellions. Queens are just going to push them back instead. And Insane going to try and loop around. He goes for a couple of these tumors actually. He's going to get 1, 2, only 1, wow. So he only gets 1 tumor. Slows it down a little bit, but not too much. And a 4th base already being established for Ayres here. It's coming at a fairly standard time. I mean, the 3rd base is down for the Terran player. No reason not to start taking that 4th base. Now, Insane, again, his 1-1's about to finish. His 2-2 is going to be pretty much on time this time as well. I mean, much better time than in game number 1 against Grave. So, as these upgrades progress, he's going to look to start, and especially as the first medevacs come out, he's going to look to start pushing across the map, and especially the one big timing he's going to really want to look to hit is just as this Spire finishes up, because that's the time where the Zerg player invests his gas, or is banking his gas for Mutalisks. He doesn't want to spend it on Balins, and he's going to, what Insane's going to look to do is, of course, move out and try and force the gas to actually be spent on Balins to force there to be less Mutalisks out and about on the map. We could also just see with the medevacs go straight for a drop into the natural, and that could be quite effective here, but there are quite a few overlords positioned around the place, which give him pretty good vision of any kind of attack like that. Big Zergling attack coming towards this 3rd, as well, I'm a bit confused. I mean, how's this going to turn out? All of a sudden Insane's retreating, he's going to a couple of his Hellions caught. Okay, he's just completely retreating here, and not investing in the bunker at this 3rd base is going to start hurting him here. His SCVs are under attack from the low ground now. He is got a big double drop into the natural of his opponent, and this is going to pretty much even up the state of the economy in this game, as Insane is losing a lot right now, but he's going to be able to kill a lot as well. Already killing the Bane Nest is absolutely huge, and now he's going for the Spire, and the Mutalisks have not yet been made, and oh no, S doesn't realise this, and now he's got no tech. He's on pure Zergling. Third base is held here, and I mean, of course, with the 10 villains able to lift, that's a huge factor. As these Marines just run around, these Zerglings are just going to run around in circles. These Marines are just going to fall back to the mineral lines. These Zerglings cannot fight as efficiently as they would like to, and this is it. Inzane's just doing so much damage. He's going to kill off this base before these units all die, or at least he should. Depends what his target firing is like, or what he decides to do. He may just pick up. Okay, he's picking up, and he's just going to go to the third. But this worked out so well for him. The Spire's dead. The Baneling Nest is dead. All Ayres can make right now is Zerglings. He doesn't want to make Zerglings. He wants to make Mutalisks. There's nothing to really stop Insane moving out and going for another attack. And guess what he's doing? Just that, moving out right now. And Ayres is going to double expand now. Oh, he didn't actually lose that expansion, but he's going to expand again. Not really. I mean, I don't know. Like, what does he do? He's got 50 seconds in which Insane can attack. And Insane, is he going to go for his 2-2 is going to finish up in this time before the Baneling Nest is finished, before the Mutalisks are out? This is an absolutely huge time for him. It's absolutely critical, and he can definitely hit this very strong. There's only Zerglings here to help him help out Ayres, and it's just not going to be enough. Insane is continuing to push forward here, pulling back. He's going to just have to wait and wait and wait, but the Spire isn't finished. The Baneling Nest isn't finished, and pure Zerglings do not fare well against basically pure Marine, as this base is probably going to go down. These Zerglings are going to come in for the wraparound. Mines are going to go not off because he's probably target firing them, but with the 2-2 finish, these Marines just eat through everything, and Ayres is in so much trouble. Still 2.1k, 2k unspent. Now his Spire is finished. Now his Baneling Nest is finished. He's making some Banelings finally, but so much damage already done, and still there's Marines here, and oh, he's going to lose so many of these Overlords as well. And oh, the Banelings are found as well. Ayres has nothing going for him anymore. 6 spears on the way, 4 more Banelings remaining. This next base is also going to get targeted. These drones are being pulled, but he's just going to step towards them, and they're all going to go down as well. A handful of Banelings, a few Zerglings are here, a couple more medevacs coming to help out, and another base is probably going to fall, and it looks as though Insane, now with a 70 supply advantage, is going to take this series to a 2-1 advantage. What a great game. I mean, Ayres, I think he just... He leapt on the opportunity to pick off these units when they were here, but he just was not prepared for the double drop in his natural. He had nothing, and the position of the Baneling Nest was so unfortunate. If that's in the main, yeah, no, maybe he loses the hatchery, but he cleans it up. He's still got his Baneling Nest. He's got Baneling Nest to deal with this next attack as well. And now it stands Insane, dropping into the natural here. These Marines with 2-2 will just trade against these mutants. No upgrades on them, of course, because the Spire went down, and they're all just going to die off here. And Ayres, just took a beating. And Insane looking crazy. GG called, and 2-1 advantage now in favor of Karnage eSports. And they are doing what they need to do. Insane putting in the work. And it's going to be another player from ESC coming out next. Who is it going to be? They do have Goody here, so we could see Goody come out next. It's a possibility. They've also got Showtime in the chat, so they are taking today seriously. They are not going to give up anything easily today. They are not going to lose their unbeaten streak without putting up a solid fight. With 2 of their top players here, it's going to get tough for Karnage in this next game. Who is going to come out next for ESC? We will find out in just a few moments' time, guys. Until then, we're going to go into a quick commercial break while we get this next player and map set up. This is the SC2 Improved Team League. In the break, if you want to check out maybe previous SC2 Improved Team League broadcasts, do check out our YouTube, youtube.com/SC2Improve. It's the place to go, and you're going to be able to see all of the previous podcasts we've got up there. I think there's one maybe missing, and last night's is currently uploaded in there as well. So do keep an eye on that. Subscribe if you want to maybe watch us elsewhere, watch us on your mobile, or anything like that. So do check that out, youtube.com/SC2Improve. And also keep tweeting us at SC2_improve. Let us know who you guys want to see win here today, or just let us know in the chat. Just get involved. So guys, we'll be back here in the next few moments. We're currently in a best 7 all kill here between Karnage eSports and ESC Gaming. We are currently on the 4th map, and the scoreline is 2-1 to Karnage, with Insane taking 2 maps after Grave took the first game against Forminator. Insane came back, he beat Grave, and then he's just beat Ayres, and now he's going up against Showtime. Is going to be the next player for ESC Gaming, or ESC ICY. So we're going to get into this game in just a few moments' time. We'll actually have loaded in, but there's a quick pause at the moment as Insane is having a couple of internet issues once again, so just giving him a couple of moments to sort that out. The map will be merry-go-round for this PVT. Going to be an interesting one. I really feel that merry-go-round is another map where the drops, they can do quite well. I think you know, it's a solid map for the Terran player actually in this TVP. So we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what kind of strats they're going to go for. You know, I think Insane showcased previously a very solid TVP. So we'll see if he does it again. See if Showtime maybe throws a wrench in his gears. I mean, Grave threw quite a wrench in his gears last time with them DTs. See if Showtime can do a little bit more as we do resume here. So let's get into this game. Wait for the chat to clear before we introduce our two players from our teams here. So guys, in the chat, let me know who you guys are supporting here today. Ulgo in the chat was saying hopefully Showtime or Goody were going to come up next, and he got his wish as it was Showtime. I was actually a bit surprised there. Berserk was saying probably Goody. I actually thought Goody would come out now as well. I think Goody's TVT is pretty sick. But saying that, I honestly haven't seen much from Showtime. It's been a long time since I've seen Showtime play. I guess he's probably been playing it in the EPS and the German tournament. I think it's the EPS, but not something I actually keep up with heavily. So not too sure. I haven't seen Showtime play too much previously. As Showtime pauses again, as Insane is not too happy with the lag still taking place. So we could restart the map. Nothing really major has happened so far. We've got build orders hidden, so players wouldn't be able to see what has happened. Just got a couple of moments here then while we wait for this to restart. So we're just going to tap on out and get this game restarted. So I'm going to rehost merry-go-round. I don't think it's worth replaying from the replay just yet. Alright, so just waiting for Insane to restart his SC2, and then we'll be going back into this. Oh, and Insane's still bugged for me. It's so annoying. Alright, so we've got our players getting back into this lobby here to restart. It's going to be a TVP. Once again, we're just going to restart completely fresh. No scan was taking place. Players can't see the build orders, so no real issues here. We're going to ask if they're ready, and go-go is called. So we are going back into this game. It's going to be merry-go-round once again. It's going to be hopefully a bit of a smoother start this time, as we load on up into merry-go-round. So map number 14 has the possibility to put Karnage eSports on match point here against ESC, looking to break their winning streak. Showtime won EPS. Did Showtime beat Patience in EPS? Is that because now that you mention that, I actually seem to think I remember that. I'm going to very quickly Wikipedia this. EPS, Germany, current champion Showtime. Yeah, beat Patience in the finals. Wow. Maybe I did know deep down. I just needed a bit of a prod. All right. So, let's get back into this. Give me a quick moment here, guys, as I just set this scoreboard up. And we're all set to go. So, a little bit of a different spawning position here. As this time in the bottom side of the map, in the 6 o'clock location, we're going to have the red Protoss player representing ESC Gaming. It is showtime. And in the upper right hand corner, we do have Insane for Karnage. 2 kills on his streak right now. Can he get another? That's what we're going to be looking out for. Okay, so what's going to happen? Well, just a big gateway first, a barracks first coming down, and a gas coming down as well for Insane. So once again, a Reaper opening, no real surprises, no real shockers here. And Showtime's just going to scout with his probe here after his gateway. So just being safe, just seeing what's up, and finding out where his opponent is going to be quite early on. This probe going to come up here, and it's going to reach the barracks and confirm that his opponent is in this location. Of course, merry-go-round, our free-player map, the first free-player map that's been on the map for quite a long time. Pretty awesome to see. It's pretty fun to see the matches on it. It does play out a lot differently to a lot of other games we see, so it's definitely a nice breath of fresh air in this last month or so we've seen it in the map pool. And unfortunately for Insane, he's going to scout the wrong direction first. Shouldn't be too major though, of course. I mean, scouting this with his SCV means that his Reaper's just going to head down to this location immediately, and all will be well. Pylon over to the side here. It's going to be nice for spotting pylons, spotting drops as soon as possible later in the game. And could also be used to hide some tech, although it's a pretty risky place to put your tech. You know, you put your tech here, one drop comes in, goodbye tech basically. So probably unlikely to actually see any tech there, and that's pylon's probably just going to be used to spot for them drops. But we'll see. Showtime just on a single gas right now means that he is just going to throw down that expansion nice and quickly. Not really too much going on so far in this game. This Reaper just heading across the map right here, and we've got a pretty slow standard opening in this TVP mothership core on the way out, and I'll come out in the next few moments. Reactor on the way as well for Insane. Actually a little bit of a change from Insane. He's continued to mine gas this time, so he's probably going to throw down factory, and he's probably just going to do things completely differently to what he did in that last game. If you remember that last game, he pulled out of gas as soon as he got his reactor up and running, so that he could get his command center down as fast as possible, and his extra 2 barracks down as fast as possible as well. So changing this up here, okay, he's actually still going to add on his 2 extra barracks, but he's got a lot of gas left over. I wonder if he's just not... I wonder if he's just going to rush out his medevacs much faster than he might usually do, or maybe rush out at +1 much faster than he did against Grave. So, well, let's just wait and see what happens, because right now it isn't making too much sense for him to have this much gas banked up. I mean, by the time he can start Steam, he's going to have over 300 gas ready, so it's not the most efficient of builds. And let's see. I mean, he can't afford his orbital command right now, because he was still waiting on some minerals. So let's see what happens. He's going to come up here. I guess he could start double tech lab if he wants, and get his stim and combat shields out at the same time, and then hit with everything. There we have it. Double combat shields down. Okay. So I guess this is what we're going to see. I like this Reaper just moving around, trying to scout out whatever he can. Spotting here, there, and everywhere. Getting a little bit stuck there. The lineup for Karnage, I assume, isn't quite set. If you mean the lineup of players who are going to play it isn't set, as it is loser's pick. But I assume they'll probably be using Namshar and Ike. Maybe even Toxic. Is Toxic still on Karnage? I'm second guessing myself. I'm just going to shut up. Reaper goes down as he tries to enter the main base here. Observer coming out. Probably going to come up in the back. And this Marine Marauder is going to mass up. So what's the importance of this double tech lab is the question we should be asking ourselves. Well, basically it means he's going to hit one big strong timing with a bunch of bio units. And he's basically just going to delay Medivacs for quite some time to be able to do that. I mean, this timing is really going to pack a punch. It's really going to be quite a deadly timing, honestly. I mean, a lot of units coming out already. We see some units coming forwards here, going to look to force out the front overcharge most likely. Front overcharge used immediately, and now just backing off. So one front overcharge down. Ooh, catches with a force field there. Maybe gets himself a Marauder. Nice little play by Showtime. Uses a force field, gets himself a Marauder. Definitely worthwhile. His Robo Bay is about to finish here. So, considering his Robo Bay is about to finish somewhere, he's going to have a first Colossi out pretty soon. So it should be out. Well, it should start coming out now. And I mean, Insane, he isn't actually moving out, and his Stim Pack and Combat Shields is about to finish. So Insane could be hitting this timing a little bit better, I feel. I think he could have... Oh my god, is he just going to pull those SCVs now? Really? Empty your bunker, man. If you're going to do this, empty the bunker. Bring it all. Bring it all. Oh my god. Showtime sees this. He sees exactly what's going on. He knows immediately what he needs to do. He warps in a Zealot. He does have force fields to buy a little bit of time here. And remember, there's no Medivacs. He cannot drop into the main base around this. He is just going to go for one big push up the ramp. Another photon overcharge is available. One Colossi is about to come out here as well. And the SCV is coming. Here we go. Stim is used. But guess what? Force fields are used as well. And most of the force field energy is used there. First Colossus is now out, and a Stim has already been used, and that's pretty substantial. This Stim pack being used up already. This natural expansion may go down here. Is Showtime going to be able to hold it? No. He's going to give it up. He's going to pull his probes, but he's going to lose the expansion here, and he's going to lose a lot of probes in the meantime as well. Now, the SCVs are still alive. They're actually doing a lot of damage. Still tanking for these units on the low ground. A single Colossus out. You got to remember... Insane, he's kept a few SCVs back at home, so he's still producing. I'd like to see him add on a factory, in fact, and maybe even an engineering bay to start transitioning out of this. He adds on 2 more barracks, but he needs to start thinking of some kind of transition out. I mean, yes, he kills off the natural, but now he needs to expand on his advantages or start catching up on his opponent's advantages. His advantage right now is that his opponent probably won't be able to afford, realistically, to start +2, so he needs to catch up on them upgrades right now. Another Stim coming in here, a few more force fields being used, and this time these units are just going to have to back off. Again, Starport and Medivacs would be really nice right now. I feel like this factory maybe could have started up a little while ago. He may have been a bit low on gas wood because he was only on 1 gas geyser until very, very recently. So a couple more buildings coming down here. Just a couple more add-ons coming down to buffer up the barracks production. Now this natural nexus is going to be remade here for Showtime in just a few moments time. It'll be finished up and he'll be able to start mining fully once again. He's actually moving out with a bit of his army. Spotted though by a Marine. Is he going to try and take a third base, or what's he going to try and do? Look at this, just by moving out here he forces bunkers out of his opponent. And you know what, it's quite smart because he sees with the observer, he sees how late the factory is, he sees that there's not a starport up, so he knows there's no Vikings, he knows the potential to do damage with his Colossi. He's on 5 gateways, 6 gateways, so he can warp in quite a lot as well. A couple of Marines moving out, spot this army. So he knows it's here, he's going to have to get SCVs in position to be able to repair. He needs to repair the bunkers. It's going to be a very essential part here. 1-1 is finished for Showtime as well, so despite the army supplies being very even, you've got to remember that's a big, big factor here. Marauders are up now into these bunkers, and Showtime blinks away. Colossi are coming forward too, but they don't have extended thermal lance just yet, so they can't quite outrange the bunkers for a few more moments. A couple of SCVs being targeted down. Bunker holding strong though. 3 Colossi here, just going to keep going. Oh, the SCVs are blocking themselves. Oh, they're going to be able to repair. Yes, they are. They get the repair. A few more SCVs going down though. Now is maybe the time to start backing off. And what's he going to do? Just repair the other bunkers. Well, that's definitely the smart thing to do here. Moves forward though. He's going to start picking off SCVs. Can't go too far forward though. Oh, but he's going to maybe use the high ground to get some more SCVs as well. These Colossi have started to take a fair amount of damage. We've got actually 4 Vikings on the way. There isn't that much anti-air in this army. These Colossi, we could see just a big push out here in a moment from Insane. He has to be very careful of the force fields. But these Vikings on top of the bunkers are going to force these Colossi back. Ooh, blinks forward though with the Stalkers. Third base on the way up behind this. Continuing this aggression here. Vikings come forward. They're going to get some good damage on one of the Colossi. And we still just have this posturing right now. More Vikings continue to come out. Finally some Medivacs coming out as well. I mean, Insane's actually in a pretty sick position. He's got 1-1 finished against now 1-2 of his opponent. He's got a good number of Vikings out. I mean, I don't want to be like... I don't know, should he pull SCVs in this situation? Because he doesn't have a third base. He needs to maybe force a cancel on his opponent's third. How many Vikings has he really got in the sky? 7. He's going to have 2 more plus 2 Medivacs, 3 Medivacs. If he had a couple more Medivacs already, he maybe really could do decent damage with this. But 2 Medivacs alone, I'm not really too sure. That being said, he's going to go for it anyway. 5 Colossi are going to be out for his opponent. 1-1 against 1-2. It's going to be interesting, but without SCVs, I don't really think Insane is going to be able to do anything. I don't think he's actually going to be able to make anything work out here. Another Medivac boosting up to join up with this army. This army's still just sat on the natural ramp. Oh, our Terran player is going to get position on the third base. Phone overcharge is used. Time Warp being used as well. And now he needs to be very careful about how he positions himself here. These Vikings are going to start coming in, but the Stalkers are going to start taking these Vikings down very quickly. And there's 5 Colossi. A lot of Zealots are here as well, but there's some Colossi from behind taking down these Colossi very quickly. Now only 3. There's still quite a lot of Colossi left. Okay, this didn't go very well for Insane. GG. Wow, I thought he had it. I thought he had that Colossi from behind, but the Marauders weren't quite target firing. He maybe could have target fired a bit better, took them down a little bit faster, but it just was not there in the end. And Insane drops. And Showtime evens our series up for a second time this evening. 2-2 now between Karnage eSports and ESC Gaming, which means we are going to go once again into a quick commercial break, guys. We thank you very much for staying tuned throughout the commercials. They do all go towards helping support the SC2 Improved Team League and our other events. So thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to run a quick commercial break, get the players set up, get the lobby set up. We'll be back in game as soon as possible. In the meantime, do go check out our website, SC2Improved.net. It's a pretty cool place. I showed you guys it beforehand, but let's show you it once again here. As you can see, SC2Improved.net. It's pretty cool. If you want to find out more about the Team League, click over here. And you can find out pretty much everything. Read our new article about the Team League, talks about the story so far, shows the stand-ins, and talks a little bit about who we expect to be doing better, who we expected to be doing a bit worse, etc., etc., and teams and matches to watch out for. And also, actually, the best thing, I think, about the SC2 Improved Team League page is the match calendar. You can see every single match there are. And let me do the math. 6, 12, 27 matches every week in the SC2 Improved Team League across 2 divisions, 5 groups. And you can see all of them listed here. As soon as they get reported to us, we upload them onto here. You can find out everything, get the links of streams that are going on, etc., etc. So guys, do go check that out, SC2Improved.net, in our downtime here, while we get our next game set up here between Karnage and ESC. We won't be too long, I promise you. We'll be back here soon. We'll do it. I am so hyped. This series just gets better and better. Next up, you know, we've got a PvP, but what a PvP. We've got Showtime versus Aiki. Aiki, such a strong player from Norway, from Karnage. He's so good. Like, really, he's sick. He's such a sick player. Like, he's one of these kind of players who I really think, out of everyone, is very, very underrated. If you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure he's on the Nation Wars team he's on the Norway Nation Wars team. He was on the Norway Nation Wars team last time when they won. He actually took some maps as well. He wasn't just carried by Snoot and Targa. So this guy's damn good. He's one of the best players in Norway. He's a really strong up-and-coming Protoss player, and I'd be surprised if he did not make it into WCS at least Challenger League for one season soon, sometime soon. I mean, it's got to happen soon. It just has to. He's so good. King Sejong Station is our map, so I'm going to just host this up, guys, and get straight on into this PvP. Pretty exciting. It's always great when we stream one of the games to see it go to at least 6 games now. It could go to a 7th game, and that would be really, truly epic. Thank you ever so much to all of you guys who are watching the games, who are watching the ads in between the games. It means a lot. So, just waiting. There we go. He made his own lobby, and now we are inviting him into ours. So it's going to be a PvP on King Sage Young Station. Guys, let us hear who you think is going to be who you want to win, because the winner of this goes on to match point, and that's a very important situation in this best of 7 all kills. So 2-2 right now. Aiki is ready. Showtime, is he ready? If he is, we're going to be going into this game. Go, called. Right, let's get into this. Guys, as we load on into this game, I'd like to shout out our sponsors, Zowie Gear, who are putting a bunch of products into the prize pool for this tournament. You can go check them out at zowiegear.com. Go check out their products. You can get a bunch of amazing things. For example, the Zowie Celeritas keyboard. Absolutely beautiful. And if you do like this keyboard, you can watch a bunch of pro players compete for one of these tomorrow in the Zowie Celeritas Series Grand Finals. Tefl, Johnny Rico, oh god, I'm going to forget them all. Slivko, Pink, Complain, yeah, okay, there's a bunch of awesome players playing tomorrow. 1800 CES, 6 PM CEST here tomorrow. It's going to be sick. I promise you, it's going to be an awesome tournament. It's got €100, Zowie Celeritas keyboard up for grabs, one of these babies. It's going to be amazing to watch, so do come check that out tomorrow from 6 PM CEST. On Saturday, we're back with more SC2ITL action as well. 6 PM CEST for Darkstar versus Max Fluid Play. We're also looking for a match just afterwards on Saturday to try and get that going streamed as well. And on Sunday, we're going to be streaming one of the many games that happens on Sundays. So many games take place on Sundays. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we've got StarCraft for you guys every day this week. Make sure to hit that follow button if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Let's get into this game. In the upper left-hand corner, the Red Pros player from ESC. It's going to be showtime. Better Daniel. Yes, Forminator has played. He played first and he lost, unfortunately, to Grave. And what honestly was a very well-played PvZ by Grave. So unfortunately, Forminator has already played. We've had Forminator in Zane and now Aiki from Karnage. We have had Grave and Showtime from ESC. If you want to watch any of the games back, do check out the YouTube, youtube.com/SC2Improve. The VOD for this will go up there tomorrow, so you'll be able to watch Forminator's game if you're interested. It's quite a long one. In the lower right hand corner, the Blue Protoss player from Karnage, it's Aiki. Hyped him up a little bit just before this game. Let's hope he delivers in this PvP on King Sage Young Station. Now, I always remember this map for some game in Pro League, the first time when it first came out in Pro League, for some crazy PvPs which everyone went Phoenix versus Phoenix on. It was pretty fun. I mean, a lot of strategies work out on King Sage Young. The way the natural works, it does make it fairly interesting, but there's nothing to really stop you from, being as aggressive as you would usually be. If you want to be aggressive, going for the tech you would usually want to. Fast expands work out. Fast aggression works out. We could see anything. So let's see what these guys are going to open up with here. As we're going to see immediately Showtime loading on up, running on up into the main base. He's going to scout out his opponent, whereas Aiki is just going to sit back. Doesn't want to see anything. Probably just says, my build covers it all. Taking a bit of a later second gas for himself. He's about 50 gas behind in overall count. It's actually a lot of gas coming out of Showtime. Double gas quickly and 3 on each. So really pumping up that gas wants to get his tech rolling nice and quickly here, it would seem. This probe continues to run around in circles, trying to check out what's going on. Doesn't see too much. You'll know if he's clicked on this gas, you'll know it's a bit later than his own. And you'll have seen how much is mined, and he sees the mothership core being chrono boosted out as well. So I mean, he pretty much sees everything he would want to see for now. As this probe continues to just move about, thinking about where he wants to take it, and he will just get out of there. I mean, again, he sees that the tech is a little bit later for his opponent, doesn't see too much else, so he's actually just going to build a stalker for now and go from there. Whereas we actually see Aiki getting a sentry out and rallying it in a very unusual direction. That's a very weird way for a sentry to go. Oh, I suppose that's because he was getting a stalker and he's rallying a stalker. So he's rallying a stalker to clean out this tower. Hopefully he doesn't let the sentry go all that way as well. We do have our first tech of the game. It's going to be the Twilight Council coming out of Showtime, while we do actually see Aiki just expanding, which is exactly what this sentry would be for, getting the force field energy up, the hallucination energy important as well, to be able to scout what his opponent's going for, so he can prepare effectively to defend. Robo facility on the way, and a blink play is going to be coming out of Showtime. So I actually quite like the position of Ike. I mean, he's going to have an Immortal coming out. As long as he's not too overzealous, he should be able to keep it alive. He should be able to defend this expansion pretty nicely, I feel. But he's actually even been aggressive himself. He's putting up a pylon over here. And, you know, this pylon more than anything, well, it's actually going to be spotted immediately, so it's not going to be much use at all. And unfortunately for Ike, he doesn't see the pylon of his opponent. Hallucination coming in to scout, and Showtime just now going to confirm this base, going to finish up, and he's going to come in. He's also going to see that robo facility, so he's going to be able to start asking himself, what does he want to do here? Does he start up his own robo? An observer going to come out first for Ike, so this a potential Immortal is a bit delayed, and Showtime just going to start up his own Nexus, following up this Blink. So his Blink's about halfway done. He's still going to put on a little bit of pressure with this, maybe. He's actually just going to start before Drillcase. He's not going to pressure too much at all. He's just going to fall back into the macro game. Going to take an advantage in the upgrades as well. He's going to have Blink. He's going to have +1 a little bit faster, while his opponent's going to have that kind of solid unit count. The Immortal count going to be a little bit higher throughout the game for Ike. So far, pretty even. Not too much happening. Ike going to lose a couple of pylons, and I mean, this is annoying. That's minerals he's invested early on that he has to reinvest, because if he doesn't remake them, it's not going to work out well. I mean, you don't remake them, you get supply blocks. So he has to remake these, and this is a little bit annoying. He's going to just get unsupply blocks as this pylon's going to come under attack. So not so great for him right now as this pylon under attack. Going to have to remake another pylon. Look at this, a Robo Bay coming out immediately for Ike. Straight into Colossus play as the Robo facility now coming up for Showtime. So again, Showtime going to be behind by a couple of Immortals, going to have less Colossi, but he will have a +1 advantage for quite some time, because the Forge is only just a third of the way done for Ike so far. These Stalkers haven't cleaned out the pylons and actually have supply blocked Ike here for a few moments. We'll just fall back to the sentries at the base. Hallucinating another Phoenix here again. He always wants to keep on top of what his opponent is doing. He wants to keep checking out what is going on, what is happening, and that's exactly what he's doing with this Phoenix. Going to be coming in, getting a scout, and seeing this Robo Bay, he's going to be saying to himself, well, crap, I need to kind of catch up or do something about that. And it's going to be very important seeing this here. It's going to allow him to make the decision on how exactly he wants to counter this, and he is seeing that now. Now, just to confirm, there it is. And this hallucinated Phoenix even gets away. So Colossi numbers is going to be pretty solid for Ike. I mean, he's already got 2 Immortals out. If you look in the units tab, 2 Immortals to none. And his opponent, he's going for a charge. He's not really investing into a Robo Bay himself just yet. So a different approach coming out of Showtime right now. Probably going to go for kind of charge, Zealot, Immortal Archon. He does have that +1 advantage by about half of the upgrade here. So that, again, is very substantial. But he has to do some kind of damage before the Colossi number builds too high. Once the Colossi number builds too high, at that critical number of Colossi, everybody just, everything just kind of melts to the Colossi number. So he really needs to do some damage earlier, or he needs to start up a Stargate, get a fleet beacon going, and start Tempest production. It looks as though he may just try and attack very soon, though, with 3 more gates on the way, +2s on the way as well. And, Showtime, Ike will know about this. He knows that Forge was faster. A little bit intrigued as to, okay, there's the Twilight Council. I feel a little bit late. Ike is not going to be able to start his +2 immediately here, which will put him even further behind in terms of them upgrades. And there's that Templar Archives now coming out for Showtime. A lot of gateways coming up just before he expands to the 3rd. And this is something he can definitely do to take advantage of his opponent. He's just saying, right, I'm going to take my 3rd base faster because I can move out on the map more. You can't. You have to rely on choke points a little bit more until your Colossi numbers really start to add up. And once they've added up, yeah, you can move out. Yeah, you can do a lot more. But until then, no, you've got to stay on your base, and I'm going to take advantage of that by expanding. So that's what we're seeing right now from Showtime. And he's just going to still stay in his natural. He doesn't want to expand too far out, but if it comes to it, he definitely can move out and hold this once he gets his Zealot numbers up, once he gets the Archon numbers up as well. 3 Immortals, 2 Archons out right now. Our units tab, again, the real interesting place right now. So 3 Immortals, the 3 Archons just about to pop up here, or a couple of Archons, against 3 Colossi and 2 Immortals. I mean, it's pretty even. Look at this, Ike adds on his Templar Archives himself. He might go for timing himself here when his Templar Archives finishes, with 2 more gateways coming up, to try and punish the fact his opponent is taking a 3rd base. With 4 Colossi, Archons morphing in, this could be a big, big push out of Ike. He's definitely just going up to 8 gateways, right? Oh, am I just kidding myself? No, he's going up to 8. Unless he just wants to be mega safe before taking his third base. But has he seen the fate of his opponent? No, and that could be a reason for him not to just move out already. So, Ike just waiting still. Now he hallucinates, and now he's going to go scout, and we're going to have to see what his reaction will be upon seeing the third base of his opponent finished here. Is he going to move out? Is he going to attack? Again, I think he's got the possibility to do that. He's actually getting a Warp Prism. He's already got these extra areas. He's already got his Temple Archivist down. So let's see what he does when he spots this third base. Let's watch from his point of view just for a couple of moments here. So he sees this third base finish and starting to mine, and now he moves out just a little bit. Is he going to move across the map, or is he going to wait? He's morphing in a lot of Templars, which would suggest he's not saving up money for a Nexus. There it is, 3 Archons on the way, and Showtime, he spots this army moving out, so he knows it. He knows what's happening. And it's going to be up to him now to pull off the defense. He's in position over here. Now, what upgrades does he have an advantage in right now? He has Blink and he has Charge. Is it going to make much of a difference? Well, the Zealots are going to charge into the Zealots, so no, I don't really think so. Wow, look at this. Nice little counterattack straight into the natural middle line by Showtime. This is the kind of thing he needs to do to pull his opponent away a little bit and just make him focus on back at home instead of attacking. This is a nice little attack. Now, he is continuing to add on his Archons here, going up to 5 Archons in total, and he's on 3 Immortals as well. But again, these Colossi, they're going to absolutely shred through a lot of the Zealots of his opponent, and that's going to allow the Zealots of his own to connect. And that's going to be a big factor in this fight. Let's zoom out a little bit, because these are some pretty big armies we've got right now. As Ike is going to go for it here on the 2 bases. His opponent, oh wow, the War Prism's going to lift up some Immortals. He's going to drop the Immortals on top of the Colossi. Here we go, the War Prism coming in. These Immortals are going to close the gap very quickly with that War Prism. Colossi are being targeted down. However, it's already too late. I think Showtime is already losing a lot of his army, and Warping coming in on top of the Colossi. One Colossi still survives on 4 HP, now goes down, but it's too late. Showtime's lost everything, and Ike is going to be able to push on through. He's going to be able to take down absolutely everything, and this was very well planned from him. And Showtime, you know, he had everything kind of going for him. He has taken down a lot of workers over here. He's taken down 20 workers, but it doesn't matter. He can't kill off this army. He had the counter-attack. He had the drop on top of the Colossi, but it just wasn't enough. GG, and Ike puts Karnage on match point. This is why I love the SC2ITL, because Karnage are at the bottom of the table right now. ESC are undefeated, and Karnage may be about to take this victory that they need so badly, and that would really put a halt to this run ESC have been having so far. So wow, no doubt are we going to see Goody next from ESC, no doubt at all in my mind. He's got to take down Ike, and he's got to take down one more player from Karnage, most likely going to be Namshar, as someone in the chat said to me before that Toxic has retired. So Goody has a lot on his hands. If it will be Goody, we'll confirm that for you guys in just a few moments time. Until then, we're going to go once again to a quick commercial break. If you guys are excited, if you guys want to tell us about who you're supporting or anything at all, get on Twitter at SC2_improve, hashtag SC2ITL. Let us know what you're thinking right now, and let's see what you guys are saying. We're going to be back after once again a quick commercial break here, guys. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is the SC2 Improve Team League. I am Ward. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at SC2_improve as well. And if you're enjoying the stream, hit that follow button to see when we go live again in the future. Go Ike, says Namshar, as he is going to be playing for the match against ESC's final player in just a few moments' time. To the music. Because right now we have potentially the last map of the night. It's Durian versus Ike. Durian! Who would have thought? Durian! Not Goody? Durian! They took I don't... Honestly, there must be some reasoning behind it. Clearly there's some reasoning behind this. Why have we got army supply up here? Whoa, go away. There must be some reasoning behind this. Goody is obviously the player who a lot of people would be probably expecting right now. Is the player I was expecting. But they send out Durian instead. Now, Durian's a dangerous player. It may be Goody doesn't feel so great against Ike. Maybe he played against him on the ladder, lost, doesn't feel he can do so good. I don't know. But Durian here is a player who I know quite well, because he played on a lot of the SC2 Improved weeklies back in the day. He has played in a lot of our tournaments before, and it's great to see him playing in the team league. And he's a very aggressive Zerg player. He will 14-14 all day, every day in ZVZ. He just plays so aggressively, so really intrigued to see what he's going to do here, because he has the opportunity to force the ace match, but if he forces the ace match, he has to play the ace match. You know, he has to be the man who can take 2 maps in a row here for ESC. So, and if not, I mean, there's their win streak gone. Karnage have broken it. So, let's see if the Purple Zerg play in the upper right hand corner. I've talked about him already. It's Durian for ESC. In the lower left for Ike, for Karnage representing. Well, he's from Norway, representing Karnage here. It's Ike, the blue Protoss player. Isn't this like, this is one of my favourite decals. I know it's just the Karnage logo, but it just looks good because it's red in the background. Just looks cool. The SC one's pretty nice, but like on the Zerg, it's like, you see, it's like the purple of the Zerg on the logo. Like, they've actually made sure that the background of this is red, so that it gets cropped and it's still red. It's pretty cool. It also kind of amuses me that the nose of the crocodile is it isn't there. It kind of like stretches along the edge. Oh, maybe I'm too easily amused. We have a pull first followed by a hatchery here for our Zerg player. We actually have a Nexus first into Gateway coming down for our Protoss player. So close positions here on Way Station. It's It's an interesting map, honestly. Again, with all of these maps, I'm kind of just intrigued to see more and more pro play on it. More of the GSL games, more WCS games. The more we see, the more we learn about these maps. Because this one really gets me. I mean, this third base is really weird to take, I feel. Like, on one hand, there's just chokes, and up, you know, you got to run up a ground through a stupid choke to get to it, or into the natural, which you want to kind of be defending anyway. But on the other hand, it's pretty far away. For the Zerg player, I mean, that doesn't matter quite so much, but it's quite hard for them to get a concave. I mean, how do you can kind of sit on top of this ramp, but it's still a pretty wide ramp. You can kind of sit around here, but the Protoss just won't come through here. It's kind of weird, and you just kind of naturally push towards the opponent's natural. It's a weird map, especially in these small locations, but that being said, it's still a huge map. We saw yesterday in Gravity versus Vega Squadron, we saw Kraos for Gravity. He went Mutacorruptor on this map, and I agree, it's a very good map for Mutacorruptor, because it's so large, you can take all the bases. Now, something we saw yesterday as well, which I really didn't mention in the early game, so I'm going to mention it now, is these island bases for a Protoss player. If you get a Warp Prism out, you drop a probe over here, boom. You can get this up very, very easily, so Durian with a quick pause. Now, he does have his Overlord positioned here. Now, he may use this Overlord to scout, but if you can just spot for this island base coming up, that'd be great information for him with this Overlord. So, going back straight into this game. So, yeah, this island base is spotted, and it's a pretty good third base to take if you can defend it as the Protoss player. It's a great third base to take. Right now, we're seeing some sentries being produced out of this gateway. Looks as though he cancelled that. Oh, no, there it is. So sentry being produced here, and it's going to start stepping against these Zerglings, which are going to get into the mineral lines, and it won't be able to cause too much of a hassle, just be slightly annoying, but won't actually do any damage, and they are now just cleaned up. So third base finishes for Durian on the other side of the map. We're going to see a Forge coming up for Ike as well. So very simply, it's basically he's gone Gate and then Forge, so he's going to have a much faster Warp Gate, but his +1 is going to take a little bit of time to really kick in here. So I wonder if he's just going to go for third base. He's moving this probe out. Yes, he is. So he's not really getting the Forge. What the reason behind this is, so he gets his Warp Gate faster, so he can warp in defenses at his third faster. And he doesn't really want the Forge for the +1. He wants the Forge to be able to start warping in a cannon over here. So that's what Ike is going to go for. Very fast third base. And he's going to put the cannon down probably here and then go gateway, gateway, gateway. So it's just completely walled in. We see some Lings on the way for Durian. We see a Roach-Warren as well. He's supply blocked right now after a scout into the main. Didn't reveal too much though, however. Now he sees this third base on the way. So he knows what's up. A couple of Lings somehow in the main base, but they aren't going to see any tech. Because there's no tech to be seen just yet. Third base is spotted though, and of course that third base is the most important thing to see for Durian as he starts up a lair. He's got an Evo chamber on the way, and he's just going to continue droning. He's not going to try and go do something crazy and just bust this base, not yet at least. He's going to macro up for now, with this evolution chamber on the way for his upgrades, and the lair on the way for whatever tech he will decide to follow this up with. There's the cannon, okay, there's the double pylon, cannon in the middle, double gateway here. So going up to 5 gateways in total now, again, just looking to defend with kind of low tech, but a lot of units, basically. There's Ike's game plan right now. As a hallucinated Phoenix warps in and starts to head on over to the third base. Single Zerglin just sitting fairly close to the front here. Pylon already coming up over here now with 5 gateways. There's always the possibility of just warping in some zealots to harass. I mean, +1's about to finish too. And, you know, if again, we saw it earlier, if a Zerg player is playing a bit too greedily, it doesn't matter how late in the game it is. 5 zealots can actually do a lot of damage. So, maybe we see that from Ike. He doesn't quite have the minerals to do anything like that just yet. He is actually still warping in over at home. So maybe just getting that pylon up for later in the game. And he's also going to move his probe over here. It is actually spotted by this. Does the Overlord see the pylon? No, but the Overlord sees the probe. And probe is going to run away now. These roaches are probably going to check for this pylon. Unless they're just going to keep chasing the probe. He's going to see this. Okay, so... Oh, changes direction. So that pylon's just not spotted here, and Duran continuing to move out. Hydralisk's on the way, and look at this, a very fast Hive. Straight into Hive, he's going to go straight for Roach Hydra Viper timing. Now it's going to be pretty hard for Ike to hold off. He really needs the scout of this. What's he seen so far as he kills this Overseer? He doesn't see anything right now. Does he see the infestation pit? No, he sees nothing of the sort. So he has no idea right now what exactly is going on, and that's kind of troublesome because he's not going to be able to react to this as quickly as he would like to. You know, his reaction to this, it needs to either be to hit a timing just before the Vipers get any energy, or to, you know, get Templar Archives down in plenty of time to be able to feed back the Vipers. That being said, he doesn't actually have anything to be abducted right now, which is, you know, actually an interesting problem to have. I mean, what do the Vipers add to this army right now? Not too much. We actually see Duran adding on a bunch of Zerglings. He may go for an attack here, but he's moving forward with a lot of Hydras, and is it enough though? I mean, +2, Blink about to finish, and Ike just going to chase this all the way back for now. Hallucinated Phoenix gets cleaned up. And, well, we're going to see Duran continue to push in here. These lings are so essential. He needs the lings to tank. However, there are force fields available as well, whether it's to block out the lings from doing damage or to block out the Hydras from DPSing in the back. Let's see what he uses them for. He's going to block the Hydras out while he kites backwards now. Now these Hydras are completely useless. No damage being done by them just yet. A couple more force fields are available if he wants to start trapping off the some more of these units. Kind of tough right now. Ike has to come back out of a choke point if he wants to fight here. He does have Blink, he does have +2, so a couple of things in his favour right now. Lings the Viper and some more Hydras on the way as a remax for Durian as he now starts to push towards this third base. Full overcharge going to be used here immediately, and it's going to push these units back, and looking as though he wants to maybe try and fight here. He's going to start engaging. He does have Blink on these Stalkers, so he can Blink micro if necessary, as Duran just remaxes with more and more units here. 4th base on the way for him. A bit of a delayed 4th base because he's committing a lot to actually just being aggressive right now. Some more Zealots are actually warped in as well. First Colossus is about to come out, and this is really going to change the way things are going. However, there is that one Viper already out as well, and that's something we've got to consider here. This Viper being out, it's going to be able to abduct the one Colossus as ridiculous. One Colossus as ridiculous as it sounds. A couple of Zealots running by here. This pylon proving to be useful. Not going to actually achieve. Oh, they're going to get the Queen. Bit of a mistake by Durian here. Oh no! The Colossus, I missed the start of the fight here, but Blinding Clouds are going down really effectively. The first Colossi and only Colossi has been abducted. However, there's nothing to tank for these Hydras, and that means these Stalkers, if they want to, can just blink on top. In fact, they don't even need to. They're going to clean up everything anyway, and Durian is going to lose his whole army here. Blink forward is going to pick off everything from retreating. And, well, he retains his Vipers, but that's about it. He kills off the Colossi. Now Temple Archive starts immediately, and he needs this Temple Archives. He needs to be able to throw down some feedbacks on the Vipers to stop further Colossi being abducted. An Overseer being picked off here as well, and Durian not really trading well so far. You can see in the Resources Lost tab. He's lost a lot, and he's actually under attack at his 3rd base, 4th base right now. These Zealots continuing to do damage here. Roach is going to clean it up. Only a single drone kill, but again, it's just annoying. He keeps his opponent back while the Colossi can't regain, starts to come up again while the Templar Archives finishes. I think he's on such a sick economy. I mean, he's had 70 probes for so long because he's had this 3 bases for so long. And it's really starting to kick in now. Now all of his production is up. Now that he's able to warp in some Templars, now he's able to keep on making Colossi. Bunch of Zealots coming down as well. Not going to engage before charge finishes, or at least not going to force an engagement before charge finishes, because that's going to be a pretty critical upgrade to a lot of his units now. He may have to fight anyways because there are units coming in towards his third base, but the gateway wall off here will buy him some time. And Thought Overcharge used immediately now. Again, there's Vipers here ready to go. There is going to be feedbacks available, and it's just going to be a bit of a dance. Roaches and Hydras are approaching this third base. Are they going to get it? No, they are not. Feedbacks go down on one of the Vipers, and that means one Viper remains. But there isn't another feedback, so one Colossi is going to go down here. But again, all of the Zerg army is just going to get taken down. Everything's being chased, everything's being picked off, and again, Durian is in full-on retreat. And he has no money. He's making Corruptors right now, but the Corruptors are just not going to be enough. I mean, the Corruptors are just going to die in seconds. There's so many Stalkers here. Ike doesn't push the issue, though. He's maybe a little bit timid after nearly losing his third base. May want to reinvest in a bit of a wall off here, maybe a couple more cannons once again. He's got a Storm on the way too, so that's what he's waiting for as well. Of course, Storm on top of this army, I mean, it's so hard to deal with. Greater Spider's about to finish, and Durian's plans to get some Broodlords out, but I mean, he's not going to get anywhere near a critical number of Broodlords, and I mean, the 3 Broodlords he has, they're going to be dealt with very easily, not only by Storm, but also just by Stalkers simply blinking under them, because, again, the Broodlords are not going to be of that big a number. War Prism is slowly starting to transfer some probes over to this now 4th base going to be on the island. And Ike probably going to move out for an attack with this new Colossi right now as well. Storm has just finished, so again, he's got a lot of possibilities here. And again, there's a few Broodlords in this guy, but really not that many. And Durian, he's got so many minerals, which he's just not spending at the moment. He just needs some more gas. It may have even been worth him to take an extra base before now, just for that gas, but a bit too late to think about that right now. We're going to have this fight, and I mean, these Zealots are just going to run in so quickly, and Iger's just going to completely commit to it. Where are his Templars? I mean, he's not even using them. There's a feedback down. He doesn't even need the Storms. There's a Storm coming down to help nullify these Broodlords a little bit, but it just doesn't even matter. I mean, it's game over right here. There's just way too much, and the supply for Durian is just not as effective as the supply of Ike, and Ike, he's going to secure this. He's going to take this for Karnage eSports 4-2. Really impressive play out of Karnage here today as he moves on through now into the natural. More Roaches, more Hydras on the way out. Durian is going to go and try and go for one last hold, but his drones are being pulled, and that is never going to be a good sign. Colossi still stands strong in the back. Another Storm is still available. GG called, and Karnage take it 4-2. What a great result for Karnage. Not just squeezing the win, but taking it pretty convincingly. Insane, some fantastic games today. Ike, some fantastic games today. And that is a victory they've needed so badly, as they now take their second victory of the Team League, and they stand with a 2-3 scoreline. Let's very quickly show you guys the current standings of Group A, which is the group these guys are playing in. So ESC now 3-1, going to be even with Chaos Latin Game, as they do play ESC. They play Missing in Action, I believe. No, they play Against All Authority. That is on Sunday. So that'll be a pretty sick match. We might very well stream that as well. And that'll be a pretty important match to see which of these teams. Against All Authority just lost to MIA, so they are now 2-2. So AAA and ESC basically going to look to try and stay at the top, while AAA are going to look to basically tie things up with a bunch of teams. So this change of luck. Karnage all the way down here will boost up quite a bit. And we'll have to wait on the results of the other results this week to see where exactly they're going to slot in. But a very important win to take a game off of one of the higher team. Next week, who do Karnage play? Karnage play 80 game, and that's going to be tough. Another one where if they win, it's going to be really fantastic for them. So, GG's from all.